الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Ibrahim alayhi salam tried through many ways to teach his people that there was only one God. He used different examples, different methods. And one day he became frustrated, and while they were out celebrating their festival, he went into their temple and broke all their idols. Now, he had told them that he's going to do this. He said, one day, when you're not around, I'm going to shatter all these idols. What was the point of that? The point was to show that these idols themselves are powerless. They can't do anything. They can't even save themselves. They can't even protect themselves. So then how can they protect other people? They can't even take something for themselves. How can they take something or give something to someone? So he went and smashed them all up. They came back and they said, who did this? They said, oh, there was one young man always talking about our idols, Ibrahim. They said, okay, bring him in front of everyone. Let's ask him. So they asked him, did you do this? He said, well, now what Ibrahim a.s. had done is, after smashing all the idols, he had left the large idol, the big idol. And the axe that he had used to smash them all, he had put it and hung it on his shoulder and had walked away. So when they said, did you do this? He said, well, look, he's the one with the axe. Go ask him. Or ask your idols that have been smashed. Ask them who hit them, who broke them. Then they said that, come on, you know that they don't talk. He said, really? So they started talking to each other. They said, you know what? We must be doing something wrong here. What is it that we're worshiping? So for a brief minute, they did realize that they were wrong. They said, this whole thing is wrong. This is a very clear message to us that these gods are powerless. And they definitely can't do anything for us. But then, culture, tradition, ego, pride, all of those things came in. No, this was an attack on our pride, on our honor, on our dignity. We're not going to stand for it. So then they said that let's have him punished. How? They said we need to make an example out of him, otherwise tomorrow someone else is going to come and do the same thing. So let's make a really, really bad example out of him. We're going to burn him. And we're not just going to light him on fire, but rather we're going to light a huge, massive fire, so big that even birds can't fly over it. And we're going to launch him into this fire. The fire was so intense that they could not even come close to it themselves. So they launched him into it through a catapult. From a distance, they had to throw him. And there, while he was being hurled into this fire, he simply said, Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is enough for me. Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. He is the best one to trust. I did all of this for him. I wasn't conveying my message. I wasn't inviting to myself. I was just telling people the truth that there's one God. And they did not want to listen. Now, if I'm being punished because of this, well, it's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what happens. I leave my matter in His hands. When he left the matter in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hands, then Allah azza wa jal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have done anything to save him. He could have sent an angel to grab him. He could have used any means to save Ibrahim alayhi salam. But instead, he spoke directly to the fire. And he said, oh fire, become cold. Allah commanded the fire to become cool. Kuni bardan wa salaman. Be cold, but not so cold that it's uncomfortable, but rather be comfortable for him. Cool and comfortable for Ibrahim. So Ibrahim a.s. landed in that fire, except that it wasn't hot anymore. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did this to show His power, that this fire itself can't do anything. So Ibrahim a.s. is there in the fire, and everyone is watching him in the fire, but he's not burning. All of this was to teach them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not just the only one worthy of worship, but He is the one whose command decides what happens. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants someone to be harmed, they will be harmed. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want someone to be harmed, then there is nothing on this world that can harm that person, even a fire blazing as fiercely as the fire that Ibrahim a.s. was thrown in. So these are some very powerful lessons to not just build our faith, but set the direction of our lives. That our lives will revolve around Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every condition, in every state. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi.